Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's August 21st, 2025, and today I want to show you what I got at the Sussex Flea Market. I showed it in a previous video that I got this big album that has stamps in it of the world. And so we're going to go through some of the pages. I don't know if we're going to go through all of the pages. We'll see how long. There's a lot of pages in this book, but it was listed for $40 and I got it for $25. I think I got a good deal on it. I'm happy, and I guess that's all that really matters in the end with what I paid for it. And if you want to see more about the Sussex Flea Market, you can go check out that video. But today, we're going to go through this. So make sure you like, you subscribe, you leave positive comments, you share with other people, and you put the notification bell on so you don't miss out on anything. One of the things that I am going to show you, not today, but tomorrow, if you stick around. I don't know if I can position it. We'll see. Right there. There's some boxes back there. What are those boxes? Well, I bought some business cards for the channel, so I'm going to show you those tomorrow when I show the mail day video. Also, I got new postcards for the channel, so I'll show you those as well. I still am hopefully going to work on a World Postcard Day card. I've asked my daughter to help contribute towards that, so I'm waiting to see what her creativity, there we go, there's the word I'm looking for, comes up with. So let's get into some stamps. Let's see what's in this album. So we have the Citation Stamp album that is personally completed by H.E. Harris. Let's go to page 1. So we've got some Afghanistan stamps in here. Some Boy Scout stamps. A few of them on this page too. Albania, you can see the write-ups that are on about the countries too that are interesting. The stamps are mostly, I guess, the newest stamps would be about 1966, 68, I think somewhere in that range. So you're going to have some countries that exist and some countries that don't exist anymore that are in here. And I've done some videos in the past on some other older albums. But I just want to touch on a few of the stamps that are in here. We'll see how far we get with the video on an album of this magnitude. But almost every page has stamps. So that was one of the reasons why I decided to invest in this album. I thought it would be interesting content at least to shoot, but also some interesting stamps that would be, some are going to be duplicates from what my father already has. They're perfect for trading or for putting in the giveaways that we do. But others of them will be brand new. There's one that's popped off its page. I should have tweezers. Spending a lot of time on this one particular stamp. Republic of Argentina. So it's in the right pages at least. Just came out of its spot. I really like these pages that have the pictures so you can see what stamps are there. Now there is no Scott numbers with these ones, which is a shame. It would be nice to have those, but you can't have everything, or can you? You can create your own pages. There are lots of free pages that you can download online too if you want to create an album based on a country or a global album like this. So you can see some nice early Australian stamps here. I've been able to do pretty well at amassing a lot of older Australian stamps from some of the things that I've done. And I think like most collectors, the hardest stamps to get these days, and I don't mean the rare ones that cost a lot of money, but the newer stamps. Because everyone seems to have stamps from, say, the 1970s earlier. But the last 40 or 50 years sometimes aren't as easy to come by. So I was really fortunate at my stamp show that we had a gentleman that came in that had newer Japanese stamps. And so I found lots of really cool stamps in there. Some that I were going to use for giveaway, and some of them just ended up in my own collection because they were just great stamps. You can see some early Austrian stamps here. When I got the album, the countries I certainly jumped to first were Canada, of course, the United States, Great Britain, just to see what early stamps might be in there. There was no penny blacks or penny reds in there. There wasn't a blue nose. So those are stamps that I look for first. If they're in the album, they might be worth a little bit more. But then I look at stamps that countries that I've been talking about that maybe I don't have very many stamps from. So if there are a few more of them in here, it's kind of nice to have. Bavaria, there's a couple there. But when we get to it, I will show you what happens to be in the stamps, or what happened, yeah, what stamps there were in those countries. But somebody had a good time putting together this collection, finding some unique countries maybe from where they were from. I don't know if this album was specifically done by someone from New Brunswick or whether it is an album that found its way to New Brunswick over time. I'm sure there's an interesting history just behind this book and who might have had it before. When I go to the stamp shows, these are the sort of albums that they have out that you can dig through and buy the stamps for 10 or 15 cents a piece. And so I often go to these books and pull out different themes that I might be giving away or countries that I'm about to talk about. So I think per value, if I said 10 cents a stamp based on all the stamps that were in this, $25 was a bargain. Because there are hundreds of stamps, and you can see some pages have more stamps than others. And once again, I could be just stopping at one country and giving you close-up looks at each and individual stamp that's in here. And I could take the next year to do that. We are not. We are going through at a pretty rapid pace to see as many as I think we can get away with seeing in this particular video. Because we are like 6 minutes into this video or 10 minutes into this video, somewhere in that range. And we were only at B for Brazil. But there's some interesting Brazilian stamps in here. Some countries produce more stamps than others, so pages could be more British Guyana or Honduras. We certainly covered that country before. Bulgaria. Once again, I had a great week for mail showing up. I'll show you tomorrow in my regular Friday video the mail that has arrived, and we'll be having videos next week about some of the stamps that have arrived in those gifts, because you generous viewers have not disappointed once again and have sent things to be added for giveaways or to be part of the collection or to be just displayed here on the channel. Sometimes I wonder, am I a stamp collector or am I a hoarder? Because there are so many tasks of things to do, whether it be items that need to be soaked and put away, items that have already been soaked that have yet to be put away. I have that. I have boxes of things that I've purchased before and haven't done anything with. I have items that I've talked about making videos about that I've yet to get to. Nice animal stamps there from Cameroon. Here we are of Canada, so you can see there's no individual beaver one there before. But there are some nice older stamps in here. And as you see, we get through the pages here. No blue nose stamp. Some of the early Queen Elizabeth ones. Some Wildings. And you can see from this particular page that there was a souvenir sheet at one point in time, but it has been removed. There's even some airmail stamps here, some war tax stamps. And then we've got some Cape Verde. We've moved on from Canada to a new country. I mentioned the business cards earlier on that I'll show you tomorrow. The reasons I went with business cards is I do a lot of these festivals this summer, and I've been to a lot of car shows, and people talk to me and they ask me what my channel is, and I say that dad guy, and they say that bad guy. No, that dad guy with a D. And so I thought it might be nice to have some business cards to hand out so people can know exactly where they can find what I'm filming and help promote the channel a little bit better. So that's what I've done. I did a limited run the first time around. I may go back and print some more depending on how many I give out. And I've had a few people already ask, can I have one that I've shown? They already know about the channel, so it's not really the intended purpose for that, but I will be handing some of those out too to people that want them, and maybe we'll talk about my channel. So, and then the reason I got the channel postcards, I've had channel postcards before in the past and I've run out. And so I thought I would replenish the supply, because it's always nice when I get a viewer send me something and they include their address, and I can just send them a card back to say thank you so much. Even if it's just a card of the channel, I hope it's something to know that I appreciate what they've done and that they watch and that they took the time to reach out to write, because it makes all the difference to know that what I'm doing, that people are watching. I had a comment today on a video that I did, a car museum video. A couple weeks ago, I did one on Car Life Museum in Prince Edward Island. And I promoted it as a place that if you're going through, you might as well stop and have a look. And someone said that they came from Moncton, they went to it, it cost them $57 to go as a family, and they felt that it was run down, the cars were dusty, and wasn't in great shape. They said it felt more like a junkyard. So I felt really bad that they didn't have a good experience going there. Yes, the cars are more in like barn fine condition. They're not being kept up to date like the Steel Wheels Motor Museum was in Halifax. A very different museum. I had hoped that I'd shown that in the video, that they kind of would get that experience, that it wasn't pristine museum quality that they were going to see, but I felt bad that they went and they didn't have a good experience from it. So I do apologize if they're watching it now. I just videotape what I see and let you know that if you're in the area and you want to see more about what you saw in the video, that you can do so. But yeah, as a family to do it, if not the whole family, if they're not all interested in cars, that also makes it difficult. That you're paying for something that not everybody's enjoying. So with any experience, any museum, anything you go to, make sure that you think everybody's going to enjoy it. Or in the case when I went to some of these museums, my wife and my mother-in-law stayed outside and talked, or went to another store, did something else while I went in and videotapes. And maybe my father-in-law came with me sometimes. Sometimes I go to these things and do them all on my own. So that happens too. I just want to show you what's possible, what's around that you could see if you were in the area. And none of that has to do with stamps. Here we are in Croatia, you can see. Not as many stamps there, but there's a few. There's a couple Cuban stamps. This would be one to do on a live stream, and you could say, can you look for this particular country? And I could skip ahead. Because some of these pages, you're not really seeing up close what the stamps are as I'm going through quickly. I'm just trying to give you an experience of overall. You can see what stamps are in there. There's some Czechoslovakian stamps in here. My father did have a pretty good collection of Czechoslovakia, as he had someone that he traded regularly with. And I've been able to build up a few as well. So these particular stamps, maybe some duplicates in here for sure. They produce some beautiful stamps. And some of them are huge. Should take a moment while we're flipping through this to promote Stamp of the Month once again. It's our monthly giveaway, and this is about parks this year, or this month. So if you haven't gone to that video, you should go check it out, and make sure you put the keyword in the description, in the comments, excuse me. And then that way you get a chance to potentially win here at the end of the month, as the end of the month is coming quickly. About another week, and we'll be doing the draw for that. I'll be looking at a new theme going through for September. Maybe I'll be looking towards this book to add some items from the giveaway. Dutch Indies, there's a few in there. I'm beginning to think this is going to be more than one part in order to get through this album to show you. So we're only at Ecuador. We might have to tune in next Thursday to continue this. Some Egyptian stamps. Let's get to at least Great Britain today. There's the Falkland Islands, there wasn't any stamps for there. Fiji, there's just one stamp. Finland, there's some early Finnish stamps in here. And France. Give time in the comments of this one if you want to see in the next one whether I should be slowing down and showing you more countries up close and maybe taking longer to do it, or whether you're getting the feel as I do it this way for what's in this binder. Once again, this isn't an in-depth look at all the stamps. We're not talking about individual ones. We're not even getting into histories of countries. I'm just showing you what's an overall view, what I got out of this book. French Guiana. French Polynesia. All the French territories here. West Africa. Nice triangle stamps from Gabon. Some early German stamps. The overprints. The currency wasn't doing so great after the wars. Of course, some Hitler stamps from during the Second World War. German Democratic Republic stamps. Nice stamps here. Also some German Democratic Republic. Ghana, Gold Coast. We've gotten to Great Britain, so you can see the earliest stamps are these ones. No penny blacks. Some Jubilees. Some Wildings. And there we get to Grenada and Greece. I said we'd stop at Great Britain, but let's finish the G's at least. We're getting near the end. Look at Guinea, and that's where we'll stop. Getting to the end of the G's brought us about almost halfway. So I'll continue next Thursday and show you from H on. Hopefully we'll get to the end of the album with that. But if you have any questions, any comments about seeing the album the way that I presented it so far today, if there's anything that specifically that jumps out at you that you wanted to slow down on or anything, yeah, leave it in the comments. I'll take it into advisement before I do the second half. And what do you think so far? Based on what you've seen so far, was it worth $25 Canadian for this particular album? That's it for today, you guys. Have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?